In the last video, we talked about Wingspan and its components. But today, we're gonna delve deeper into the strategies and how you score along the way. Wingspan is an engine building game like this.
So one thing to note is that ultimately you have a limited number of actions or cubes that you can take during Wingspan. And a great strategy, hence, is to play birds in a habitat with powers from other habitats. For example, here's Chipping Sparrow, which can live either in grassland or forest. But if you notice, its power is a laying of eggs. And the action associated with grassland is already laying of eggs. So a better strategy here would be to play the Chipping Sparrow in forest so that when you gain food, you may also lay eggs. Let's look at a powerful forest engine with a diversity of bird powers. Here, if you've noticed, I've played 4 birds. So when I'm gaining food, I'll place my action cube over here, which allows me to gain 3 food items at once. Now the cube moves left onto the Chipping Sparrow, which allows me to lay an egg on any bird. I'll just lay an egg on the Chipping Sparrow itself. Now it moves on to the yellow-bellied sapsucker, which gives me a worm right from the supply. Then we move on to the yellow-rumped warbler, which allows me to tuck a bird and draw one as I tuck one. So here I've tucked a bird, and I'll draw this trumpeter swan. Now we move on to the wood duck, which allows me to further draw 2 cards and then discard one. I'll draw these 2, and I'll put one of these in the discard pile.
So that was forest, and now we move on to grasslands, which is a very important habitat if you're worried about points, and which everybody is in this game, honestly. So if you lay eggs in the grassland, like, you're getting points directly from the eggs, as well as more opportunities to get points from the activations which you have. Let's look at this engine and let's run through this. So we're taking this action, we are getting 4 eggs. I will put these here, and then we move left. So we have golden eagle, which is a predator bird, and it looks at a card from the deck, and if the wingspan is less than 100 centimeters, I can tuck it behind this bird. So this is green heron, and this is 66 centimeters, so this goes here, and that's 1 extra point. So now we move left, and we have purple martin here. So purple martin, it can allow you to tuck a card from your hand and then draw 1. So this also goes here, and this gives us 1 extra point and a card as well. So now we go on to the killdeer, which allows us to discard an egg to draw 2 cards, which is really nice because it's giving us a lot of flexibility and choice. So I'll take some cards from here, and now we come to the common raven, which allows us to discard an egg from any bird, which is not that bird, and it gives us 2 food from the supply. So we don't really have to worry about what's there in the bird feeder. So I'll take the worm and the wheat. All in all, in this turn, we got 6 points directly, like 4 eggs, 2 cards from the tucking, as well as we got some cards in our hand, which are choices, and we got some food. So you see, we pretty much did everything you can do in one turn. We have the benefits for all of the 3 actions: gaining food, laying eggs, as well as drawing bird cards. So that's why the base game is very loaded towards the grassland habitat.
Let's talk about wetlands now. Wetland give you the choice of birds, and you need them to make sure you're able to satisfy your objectives in the game, like end of round goals and bonus cards. Here we have an engine, and I have 4 birds, and each of them have different powers, except for bush-tailed and common grackle. These 2 birds allow me to tuck a card from my hand behind these birds, and if I do that, I gain an egg. Now let's play and see how this turns out. So I put my cube over here. I can draw 3 cards. Tree swallow allows me to tuck a card from my hand behind this bird, and if I do that, I draw a card. So I'll tuck this card. Coming to common grackle, I can tuck a card and lay an egg. I tuck a card, get an egg. And then I come to black crowned night heron. The power of this bird is I can discard an egg, and by doing that I can gain a food item from the supply. So it's important to have an egg before I come to this bird. So I discard this, gain a food item by which I can play my next bird, and then I go to bush tit. Here also I can tuck a card and lay an egg. And so if I want to play any other bird, I have an egg which can be used to play a bird, and I have the food item.
To summarize, there's a lot of different ways through which you can get points in Wingspan. There are some birds which are really powerful, and in particular there's the common raven, Chihuahuan raven, as well as killdeers and Franklin's gull. So these birds completely change the dynamics of the game, and they're so powerful that if you want to play the game on Board Games Arena, which is an online website, you can play, it's free, it's amazing. So they have an option to remove these birds so that the game is more fair, and we also do that when we're playing. Don't forget, among all of these things, there are bonus cards which also help you get a lot of points, and sometimes they are very nice, and like you can get 7-8 points from 4-5 birds, and that gives you a long-term goal to look forward. There's another avenue through which you can get points, which are end of round goal, and if you are able to get cards from the wetland habitat which satisfy that can also give you like 15-20 points. So all in all, this is a game which has a lot of complexity and different avenues of gathering points. So you need to have a good balance to do well. Other aspect which is important to consider in the beginning of the game is to play one bird in each column so that the actions you are taking, they are more meaningful and they're giving you with more resource. Otherwise, you would be wasting a lot of cubes, and cubes are very important. So hope you are able to get a lot of fun out of this game. Let us know if you have any questions, suggestions.
So I've been thinking about this a little, and with your strategy videos, the base game turns out to be quite simple. So I'm looking for the next challenge. What should we do?
Talking about this,
This is definitely it.
Is to play birds in a particular habitat which give you activations that are associated with actions in some particular habitat that's other than that habitat.